Welcome back, beautiful souls, back to the channel. If you are someone that constantly feels like you absorb people's energy, you're an empath, you're super sensitive to energy, and maybe those symbols are all signs of your gifts in disguise that you are a healer. I cannot wait to get into this video on the 5 signs that you are ignoring your gifts and actually not stepping into being the healer that you are here meant to be. And this is something that's not talked about. So I'm so excited to share these 5 secrets with you in this video. Before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and notification bell so you do not miss a video as I share all things to support healers, space holders, light workers, and also helping women all across the world with healing and womb as well. So if that's anything that you're interested in, as well as plant medicine, all things consciousness and healing with the earth and with Pachamama, then you have found your home and your space, and welcome. And make sure you subscribe to give yourself this space of safetyness, healing, and community. So let's get into these 5 signs that you are a healer, but you are also ignoring your gifts. This is one of the most common things that I see all the time with a lot of my students, a lot of my clients, and a lot of the people that I work with that are healers and space holders, as well as people that I bump into, is this unknowing, subconscious feeling that you are ignoring your gifts. So this brings me to the first sign that you are ignoring your gifts and you are a healer, is that you have stomach cramping or stomach aches as a child, and maybe you still have that today. I know this was something that was really deeply in disguise and eventually manifested into candida, IBS, ulcers, and many other stomach issues that happen throughout the process, because the stomach is the emotional brain. This is where we hold all our emotions. This is where we really take in all our subconscious and conscious ways that we see ourselves, how we see ourselves in the world, and judgments as well. So start to really think about and connect with, are there any judgments that you have towards yourself and your gifts? I want you to share down below. This is a safe space, and share what's the first judgment that comes up for you. Or if you are someone that used to be judged most of your life because you were different, because you were the black sheep in the family, put down a little rainbow emoji and let's claim your uniqueness, your difference, your just magic, your unicornness that you are. And I think this is so important. But of course, why does our stomach start to hurt? Well, really, we're ignoring the emotional and intuitive hits that our gifts are sharing. When I'm talking about gifts, I'm talking about dreaming. I'm talking about hearing things, feeling things, sensing things. Your whole being and intuition is like an antenna. And when we ignore these gifts, every single one of us have gifts of our soul, have gifts from our ancestors, have gifts that you reclaim and receive and learn in this lifetime as an offering from your guides and the universal council, and so much more. So a lot of people don't know that sometimes we're ignoring our gifts based on the programming and the environment that we lived in. So I want you to ask yourself, as a child, what was the household you lived in? You know, this is a time where between the ages of 0 and when you're conceived all the way to the age of 8 is the open gateway of all dimensions. There is no veil. You are so open to the magic and the wonder of a child. So a lot of the times, you know, one of the biggest things, for example, is when kids start to have imagination, whether it's fairies or unicorns or, you know, Santa Claus, for example, and that feeling that it was shut down, you know, and that magic was like almost like the light was blown out of it. And, you know, there's this thing that we say with candles, when working with candles and medicine and healing and fire element, and even just the fire spirit and grandfather fire, is not to blow out the fire, because we're blowing out the spirit, right? So it's almost like we are being blown on for our gifts and the fire and the light that we have, and the magic that we have. And in that, we don't really have a space to emotionally process. So where does it go to? Our stomach. And if we've been ignoring our gifts for so long, what happens is we have physical elements like IBS, candida, ulcers, and other stomach issues and liver issues as well that can cause some deep pains. You know, I always say our body whispers before it screams. So these are ways that our gifts are just wanting to scream out, get out there and be shared with us. And maybe we'll even teach you, and most likely will teach you where you're meant to share it with the world. And it may be in a way that you don't even know, but you're humans in the way of knowing how it's meant to be used in this space. So yeah, this is one of the biggest ones that I see. And if you are someone that tends to have a lot of stomach issues and are like, oh my gosh, this is so hitting, let me know down below with a little, smiley face emoji or explosion emoji, and just say, 𝐾𝐨, oh my gosh, yes, this resonates. This brings me to, you had gifts as a kid and feel that they've either left or they're less of. Like there's less intensity and intuition and connection with them. This is one of the most common things I see with a lot of beautiful souls. And most likely if you pressed on this video, there is some inclining or some feeling that maybe either there was a gift that you really saw was really potent as a child, as your 4-year-old self, as your 8-year-old self, as your 10-year-old self, and then you don't remember where or why, but it feels like it's been lost. It feels almost like it's dormant, or maybe you don't remember it, or maybe now it's starting to be remembered as we start to talk about it here. Or maybe you still have your gifts, but it's not frequent. You find that you used to dream a lot and have very vivid dreams and do deep healing and dream work, but now it's like you don't even remember your dreams, or you have a hard time even connecting with the medicine of your dreams, for example. Another example is a lot of people tend to hear things based on their environment or based on maybe just their own inner stories, and there's not really a guidance there to explore that magic and to understand why are they hearing these sounds. Then they shut it off. And that's usually blocks anywhere from our upper chakras, which I like to call the triangle. Our upper chakras are our throat chakra, our third eye, and our crown. So what I speak, what I see, and my knowing and connection to all is the ether, right? So this is one of the biggest things with the gifts, and especially if in your lineage or within your spirit, you're here to connect with mediumship, you're here to channel, you're here to connect with light language, for example. These are all ways that your gift is probably feeling some strain, and instead we're feeling maybe some fear. And this is one of the biggest reasons why as a kid we shut them down, is because there is that fear. And I want you to ask yourself, and you can write this down to help you open your gifts more. I actually do this with my students. I'm gonna give this to you, is when did you notice that your gifts started to loosen and reduce a little bit more? Like there was this lack of awareness. When did you start to notice that your gifts kind of like slipped away? Or maybe they weren't as strong. Around what age was that? And what was happening in your life during this time that allowed you to maybe just fear your gifts or ignore them or not believe in them? And allow yourself to just go down to memory lane and sit with it. And maybe if you want to share here and things are coming up, feel free to share it down below in the comments. I'd love to read it. Helps all of us together as well to feel seen and heard, that where our experiences are also what other people are experiencing too. The third sign we have that you are ignoring your gifts and you are a healer is that you keep seeing angel numbers all your life. Now, this is so funny because I was just having this conversation. I believe it was either with one of you or one of my team members. And one of the things I shared with them was that I get people all this time saying, I saw 111, I saw 222, I saw 333, I see 444. Write down below, what are the angel numbers that you see all the time? Like you've been seeing it since birth, you've been seeing it a certain period of your time, you're seeing it right now. Like there's an angel number or angel numbers that you see. You all know, or maybe you don't know because for the first time we're meeting, and if so, make sure you like, subscribe so you can stick around. I'd love to see you here again in the space. And angel numbers, I do a lot of videos on it. So if you are curious about what the angel number 111 means, 444, go check out. I have a full playlist. I think I have over 300 videos on that you can check it out. Anyways, I digress. So angel numbers, we see them, but this is the perfect thing that I was telling about with my team member. It was my team member. And I said, when people say that, it's almost like if you see a shell on the floor and this shell is intuitively telling you and giving you permission to bring it home while you're on the beautiful beaches somewhere south. And you recognize the shell, you notice it, you appreciate this shell, and you're like, that's nice, dear, and you walk over the shell, you ignore the shell. And the best way of explaining this whole process, and I'm gonna really allow you to sit with this, because this really changed my life when I heard this from one of my elders and teachers, is that what does it feel like to give someone a gift? When you give someone a gift, it's like the most rewarding feeling. For some of us, I don't want to make this like a whole collective thing. For others, it's awkward, or maybe what is that feeling you get when you are given a gift? Now, I want you to change your perspective of when you receive a gift. What does it feel like to receive? They're both connected. So when we do not ignore a gift, when we completely don't even acknowledge a gift, we are now abandoning that love that is being given to us. Now, of course, I'm all about boundaries. I'm not saying that you need to take the gift that your aunt gave you that you absolutely don't want, or to say yes to your uncle that is at that family reunion who's offering something that you do not want. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is for the lesson purpose of this is that angel numbers are essentially your guides, your guardians that want for the highest good for you to literally explode and do the best that you can in this world. And you're literally telling them, yeah, that's nice, dear, and walking away. So the biggest thing I can share with you is, one, you ignoring the gifts of your guides and your guardians is rejecting the love, support, and trust and guidance that they are offering you abundantly. You are then ignoring and completely rejecting, or somewhat not acknowledging, whatever it is, the offering and the help that is there. And then you have to ask yourself, to support you and not to ignore your gifts, because this is why this video is here, is ask yourself, what makes you feel uncomfortable to trust, to receive unconditional love? What makes you feel this lack of trust or this fear? What's coming up for you when you are in the space, in the seat of receiving? Now let's switch spots, because I always say that receiving and letting go are both connected. You can't do one without the other. So when you see the angel numbers 111, 222, 333, what happens when you don't see them anymore? What happens if you stop seeing 444? What happens when you stop seeing 111? Well, basically, those are all signs that your guides are like, okay, you're not getting it, you're not appreciating it, and we're just like not gonna offer you this beautiful gift that we have for you, right? You'll just get it next lifetime, or maybe you'll have to work for it. Right? And I've seen this also where when you ignore a gift multiple times, it can be taken away from you. When you are not using a gift with respect, with appreciation, it can be taken away from you. I've heard multiple people who've had experiences. Actually, I'm going to share a story with you, and maybe for some of you this will resonate. I'm going to say it anonymously to respect the client. But I was working with a specific client, and basically they were seeing the angel numbers 444, 911, 111, 888. Like literally it was like bam, 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 bam. Their guides were just throwing everything. And literally I told them before our session, I said 3 sessions, it was 3 times the charm, right? I said, you have to slow down, and there is something that you need to change right now, or there's gonna be like a huge life-changing experience, and it may cause something around your health. Kid you not, 4 days later, this client messages me and says that they broke both wrists. So again, their gift was a lot with their hands, and they did a lot of work with their hands in their everyday work. And I'm not sharing this out of fear, I'm just sharing this. This is the extreme of their contract, their soul contract. Everyone has their own, but obviously they weren't really listening to it. And with that, the spirit's like, okay, well, like, we'll just have you sit about this specific gift. And some gifts are meant for you to receive no matter how much you ignore it. So it's like resistance is persistence, right? So when these angel numbers, when these totems, when these signs, these dreams come in, like listen to them. If they're coming multiple times, like it's like you can not see it, then look at them, because this is a way that they're gonna support you. And gifts are honestly gonna be there for us no matter what period of our life there are. And it really allows us to not feel so alone, because they are such blessings that we get to get, and it's your birthright. So why not receive that? So if you resonated with this story, or maybe now you're like, oh my gosh, that one time, 𝐥𝐤𝐤, and this is coming up, share it down below. The next sign of you ignoring your gifts and you are a healer is that you keep having spiritual awakenings one after another. This is one of the most common things that I see with a lot of people. I see with myself, I've seen with my experience, is this common feeling of like, you are ignoring your gifts. Like one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. It's just, you're ignoring them. And in doing that, eventually we have these changes, these life changes that happen. And when this happens, we go through spiritual awakenings. And I like to call this like the final card. What this means is that eventually we go through life changes where we're meant to change. We're meant to go on the right path. We signed up here to have a great life. You know, it's great when people are like spirits and connecting, but understand that like they don't eat pizza. You know, they're eternal and whatnot, but we have here to experience earth. Like heaven and earth is here. It's not above, it's all over. It's above, it's below, it's in between, but like we've come here to experience the present, the being, and here. And these gifts enhance our experience here and enhance your ability to awaken your purpose within you. And when someone is going through an awakening, it's an initiation into your purpose of a healer. I remember for myself, and I share this in one of my stories, and Ashley, we have this beautiful 3-day breaking through the thorns that supports women to really step into throwing through their thorns and stepping into the queendom and the healer and the being that they are. So that is something that you're interested in, go and check it out. It's a 3-day amazing recorded ceremonial potent experience. So you can go and sign up, and yeah, it's a very beautiful gift that I want to offer to you. So if that resonates with you, go and check it out and break through these thorns, because the awakening is breaking through the thorns, is the dark night of the soul, which dark night of the soul is essentially, you know, you are going into the deepest void. You have no choice but to surrender to it all. There's no control. You have to trust. You have to go through the process. And it's like you are at the lowest of the lowest, and there's only up from here. And we've all been here. For me, it was like over 8 years ago when I had to leave my job, where my whole mental health went downhill. I had PTSD. I was having depression, anxiety. Like I was not here, and I didn't want to be here. And it wasn't until that snowballed into me being forced to start my own business, and I was in the PR world, and fast forward, that wasn't right for me. Another boom awakening. It wasn't working well. I wasn't getting clients. And then in the meantime, what was holding me was healing beyond therapy. And that was these modalities and ancient practices and the plants. And then I saw, whoa, okay, there's a bigger picture here. And this is what brought me to do what I do to here, which is over 8 years, almost 8 years of doing this deep healing and modalities and helping souls all across the world, over hundreds of souls, heal, and teaching other healers how to heal their communities. So, you know, it's interesting. At the time, your future self is like, why am I doing this? But let me tell you, the gifts that even I was working with when I didn't awaken myself fully, when I was resisting the awakening, I can now say thank you, because I know that ignoring that happened, I decided to take the long road. I decided to take the hard road. And let me tell you, there's an easier way. Like one of my friends say, there's an easier way to get out of that. But it's up to you. It's free will, right? And even if I share this with you, I want you to do this. I want you to receive this. And what's the next step, 𝐥𝐤𝐤? What's the next steps after the spiritual awakening? How am I supposed to stop ignoring my gifts during an awakening? You ask yourself, you ask your divine team, how can I use my divine gifts at the highest timeline to support me through this big initiation with my soul? And once you do that, you will start to see, they will open, they will awaken within you. They'll start to come out because you asked. That's what they want you to do, right? And when you do that and you start to initiate yourself and heal yourself, then they're going to show you when the time is right to do the same for others. You see? So this is one of the biggest things that is super important. And I think it's really important for us to know that we are literally going to the depths of our soul to understand us. And when we do that, then we can see what was right in front of us and within us our whole time, and why we are here to help the collective. And if this is something that you're super interested in, I have this beautiful lifetime mentorship and training, Earth Dharma Healers Training Program. And it is a really powerful space helping you to learn how to work with your gifts. For those who feel lost with their gifts, who feel lost with their purpose, who are of service or want to start being of service and want to do that in community while learning how to heal inner child healing, Reiki, past life, working with plants, elements, altars, chakras, and holding trauma-informed safe space for people in your community to then be a healer in your space, in your community, and help the collective and step into your dharma. So that's something you're interested in, go down below, comment hashtag Earth Dharma, and I will send you over the link for application, and I would love to see you there because this is super potent. Like, this would be so amazing to have you there. Now is the time for you to stop ignoring, because we are all ascending so deeply in this time on this earth. Okay, so the fifth sign that you are ignoring your gifts and you are a healer, yes, you are a healer, is that I was being pushed by force bigger than me to be a healer and space holder and light worker. Remember when I told you about the whole thing about the angel numbers, or just seeing a shell, and the shell was like telling you, hey, pick me up. Like, I'm here to support you and help you connect with your gifts so you can deepen and come to this remembering of Oshun or Yamanja and the ocean spirit and the Orishas. And you're like, that's nice, Kiara, and walked over. Well, you've hit the point now that you've been ignoring so much that that's not even an option. You can't ignore. This is kind of like, I call it the last card. This is the point where your guides are like, hey, we have a bigger kind of thing going on here that's more than what you can see, and this is actually going to help you to just stop resisting it. So this is one of the biggest things where you just feel a force bigger than you, and everything that you used to do that you're trying to pick up is just not working. Like, whether it's you're going to the same work environments, you're going to the same relationships, whether platonic or romantic, and they're just like, not today. That's not happening, and they're just not working for you. And it seems like you're failing and you're not succeeding more than you are succeeding, and it just feels like you're in this loop, like this never-ending loop. And this is really them saying, like, get comfortable with surrendering, because we have a bigger plan for you and we don't have time to waste. So there's no time in the dimensions, but here in this earth we do. And like I said, why come to this earth from the stars to come and share your gift and just sit on it? So that's nice here. Instead of going out there and doing the thing, you know, deciding to receive, yes, I have these gifts, and claiming it to be yours so you can step in and be in a space of your heart to channel and help this earth. Now is the time more than ever, and I cannot stress that enough. So I hope you enjoyed these 5 ways that you are ignoring your gifts and you are a healer. I hope by the end of this that you have now felt this sense of like, yes, 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐿, I am a healer, and now I understand what you're talking about. Now I understand why these feelings in my stomach ache and the awakenings and everything, it all makes sense. And if you have any questions of other things that come up for you, or any questions or videos you would like me to talk about for being a healer or on this space holding light worker path, helping your community, please let me know with #Q&A down below, and I'd love to make a video or do a Q&A about it, because I really want to help the collective right now. This is my biggest mission that's coming in, to really, for us to connect and come back and weave with nature once again. And we need it now, not later. Now is the time. So for those of you that are interested in going deeper, and if you felt like this was really supportive for you of understanding how and signs that you are ignoring your gifts, and you would like to go deeper, I highly suggest you applying for the Earth Dharma Healers Training Program. And you can go and just do #Earth Dharma Healers Training Program, and I will send you the application and the link so you can apply. And this is a lifetime mentorship and training. So you get lifetime access to these amazing tools that you receive. It's a live mentorship, live calls, and we get a beautiful in-person initiation that is life-changing to the bits, like crazy. You're gonna get to know yourself inside and out. By the time you walk out of there, your purpose is gonna be just like, there's no, like, I have to see it. I need to walk the path now. So this is for those who are ready for it. And for the women out there that are on their spiritual journey and feel this sense of loneliness and feel like there's this lack of consistency and they're constantly hitting that wall, that bridge, then you have come to the right place to go and check out Queen Rose, this lifetime mentorship for sisters all across the world, where we receive deep healing for karmic clearing, womb healing, healing with sisterhood wounds, mother wounds, so much, and stepping into our abundant free life in sisterhood and having women that will be with you till you're 90 something years old. That's what I'm talking about. That's the collective we're talking about, these deep friendships. Go and apply down below. And I also have my one-on-ones and my plant medicine ceremonies. Okay, I think that's it. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, put a notification bell so you don't miss a video. And I love you so much. Keep not ignoring your gifts. You are special. See you in the next one. Bye.